So, welcome back to Color Him Dads, our podcast here, presented to you by Divine Alternative for Dad Services, DADS. And my name is Marvin Charles, and I'm excited today to bring to you a longtime friend who's a very great and good community advocate. He's actually my counterpart in the community here in Seattle, Washington. He does great work in fatherhood, and he's my guest today. In fact, I'm going to do something today that I've never, ever done. And I'm going to turn this segment over to him and his son, Lincoln. So I have Larry and Lincoln Wilmore, and they're going to tell you about their fatherhood journey and tell you about the work that they do. And this is the first time that I think that I can recall of a father and son working together in the nonprofit arena, especially around fatherhood. So without any further ado, I want to introduce to you Larry and Lincoln Wilmore.
Hi, my name is Larry Wilmore, and I'm here with my son, Lincoln Wilmore, and our organization is Fathers and Sons Together. We go by the acronym FAST. FAST was started about 12 years ago. We have an office. We work out of Rainier, the South End, Rainier Beach area, and we have been doing this work now for about 12 years. FAST started when I was working at the Safeway store, and we had incidents where people would come into the store and do things that was not good, stealing and different things. And I decided that instead of talking about it, that I wanted to do something about it. So one of the things we did was we organized and we formed FAST. And what FAST does is our mission is to strengthen the relationships between fathers and sons. So I was wondering, why is it that I have two sons? One of my sons is a board member of FAST, and my other son runs the youth component of FAST. And also he has an organization called We Are Amazing 365. So I was wondering, why is my son's not out there doing the same things? And one of the things that came to my mind was that it's because both of my sons had a father and a mother at the house, in the home. So we figured that that was the big difference. So we decided that we would start FAST. And so FAST was started on passion alone. I mean, we didn't have a lot of money, but what we did was we started it on passion. We decided that we was going to go out here and make a difference. So we started to do events. And some of the events that we did was we did a baseball empowerment camp. We did a basketball empowerment camp, fishing. We did a barbershop chat. All of these things was done. And we would get the fathers in. We used those events as bait, because once those fathers came in, then we decided that what we wanted to do was we wanted to give them some knowledge. We wanted to give them some resources that they needed to help themselves and to help the community. So FAST, we have different components. Our organization, we believe in education, health and wellness, and community engagement. We believe that that father needs to be, and we have an EDS program, and that's EDSS. The E, we want to empower the dads. The D, we want the dads to be able to develop their sons. The first S, we want them to be able to sustain the family. And the next S is to strengthen the community. If we can do those things, then we feel like that we definitely will be on the right track. I'm going to let my son Lincoln talk a little bit now about what he does. But Lincoln is a senior this year at Lakeside High School. And Lincoln was last year, he was a junior at the high school, and he was selected to the African Leadership Academy at his school, selected by the African Leadership Academy. So he did his work in Johannesburg, South Africa. He was there for 5 months. And when he graduated, my wife and myself went to Africa, South Africa, and we watched him graduate, and we spent an entire 3-4 weeks there, which was life-changing. So Lincoln, if you'll talk a little bit about your program, We Are Amazing, and the work that you do with FAST also.
Sounds good. Hello, my name is Lincoln, and thank you for the wonderful introduction. First off, I absolutely love my father. I thank him for everything that he has done to get me to this point. Ever since I was little, I've always looked up to him. I've always looked up to my older brother who looked up to my father, and I feel that I've gained almost all great qualities from him. I am an athlete, so I've gained a competitive drive from those days of competing outside. I also think I've gained a lot of your wisdom. I've seen a lot of how you're able to keep your composure and how you're able to deal with certain situations. And I think that over time, as I've grown, I've been able to pick up from those skills. So I'm forever grateful for all that you have done. And in relation to the work that I do right now, We Are Amazing 365, it's really just encouraging and starting a movement and inspiring other youth that they can do what they put their mind to. So today I am wearing one shirt that does have We Are Amazing on it. And so basically it's a movement to inspire, empower, and elevate youth and all cultures. Because I believe that, especially in today's society, we're filled with such negative stereotypes and a bunch of pressures that the youth have to face, which I could go more into. And We Are Amazing, through clothing and through inspirational messages and through certain community work that we do, it inspires that we can do it, that we are smart, strong, and all of those things that we believe that we can be. And in addition, I feel like I've been able to, this organization and branching off from what you have done for me has allowed me to have so many opportunities. So as you said, I went to South Africa to study at African Leadership Academy in Johannesburg for 5 months for a whole semester, and I've gained so much. And one of my favorite parts there was the graduation when you guys, you and Mom, came over to watch me graduate, and also being able to show you a new light and show you a different place in the world that you've also wanted to go to, because I feel that I've followed you for so long, and it's been the best opportunity for me to be able to give back and to allow you guys to come over and to be able to show you that new perspective. And also, in addition, going to French Polynesia right after, I went to an island called, I went to a place called French Polynesia, and within that I went to specifically Raiatea, where I was able to study and live with the host family and be able to also learn again what that fatherhood element was. I had a host brother and a host dad and a host mom. I was able to see that family structure and just made me appreciate family even more. So I just thank you for all the opportunities that you've given, and I'll allow you to talk a little more about FAST. And yeah.
Thank you. Like Lincoln said, I have 2 wonderful sons, and my wife Kathy and myself are very proud. We've been married for 33 years, and we are proud of what our sons have done in the community, because we feel like that's so important. We believe that fathers need to be positive, they need to be present, and they need to be active in their sons' lives. If they are present, positive, and active in their son's life, then things change. I mean, 65%, 75% of all young men that go to prison come from fatherless homes. 80% are young men who commit different crimes and all of that go on. So we are really into fatherhood. We're really into parenting. We're into giving our children something that they can go into, that they can give to other people in the community. So we believe that fatherhood element is so important. We believe that, as I said in the EDS part of our program, we believe that empowering the dads, giving them the resources that they need, we believe that then they in turn develops that son. That son looks up to them and do what they do, and then strengthening the family. The whole family has to be solidified, solid, and then the community benefits. And so that's what we want to do. We want our communities to benefit. FAST has been around now for 12 years, and we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we believe that this organization is helping people. I mean, I can remember different times that we went to camps and we went to different events, and at one particular camp in particular we went to, and that was a young man. We had a bus ride. The bus ride was about 1 hour, and we on that bus we decided that everybody got on the bus. They didn't have anything to say, so we had games. We made them learn each other's names, and we did all of this. So when we got to the camp, the tension was broken, and at the end of the camp, we sat around and everybody had an opportunity to say something positive about that day. And there was a young man in particular who said to us, he said, "I don't want to go home. Could we have one more night?" And that was the impact that we was having on these young men. So it's something that what we try to do, we try to give them something. We want them to be positive. We want them to go out into their communities and make a difference. We want to be that light that other people see. And we want that family to be strong. We want that family to be positive. We want that family to know that they have the resources that are necessary. There are so many organizations in our city, in our community, that people just don't know about. And what FAST does, we want to be that resource guide. We want to be there to empower, to show the community that there are services out there for them, and these services are available to them. So, and the last thing we want to do is we want to build what we call a resource and outreach center. We call that a FAST Rock. And that's in the planning right now. What we want to do is we want to be able to bring all of these communities together. We want to be able to have that information available. So when a person comes into that comes to the FAST office, we want that person to understand that no matter what their need is, there's the DADS program, there's Seattle City Light, there's Comcast, there's all these programs out there. And there's something that they can draw from, there's something that they can benefit from, something that we can build on. So that's what FAST is about. We're about strengthening the entire community. We're about giving something back that we've gotten. I had a good father, and I would like to be a good father, and I would like to pass that on so that we can definitely just keep moving in the right direction. Mm-hmm. So, Lincoln, did you have a couple more things you want to say?
Yes. You are an amazing father, and I wish that I could be. I have large shoes to fill in the future. I want to just emphasize also the shirt that you are wearing. The shirt that you are wearing says, "We are amazing, stay focused, and we are strong, creative, geniuses, inventors, forgiving and kind, full of an undeniable resilience, strength, and wisdom." I want to highlight that because I think, especially from a youth perspective, that we are all amazing, that our community is incredibly strong, and we are all of those things. And what I aim to do is continue to encourage our youth, because I believe that our youth are our future. And our youth, it is our role to follow the work that's, for example, you have done. And I want to continue to follow that pathway. And then so on some of my shirts on We Are Amazing, I have different quotes to help empower people that wear it, such as "Never forget the truth," or "We've only just begun." And I believe that those quotes are powerful because we must not forget where we come from in order to help us propel towards the future, and that our greatness has only begun. We've only just started. And so, again, I want to emphasize how important the work that you are doing and how I aim to continue that. And I have a question about just about fatherhood in general on the topic, but what is fatherhood to you, and how has it evolved over time, and certain aspects that you're learning on this journey?
I think for me, fatherhood basically means that I have to be present, I have to be positive, and I have to be active in my son's life. There's a lot of fathers that are in the home, but they're not present. They're TV dads, so they're whatever. And I believe that there has to be a degree of discipline. I believe that there has to be a degree of respect, but most of all, there has to be communication. And so I believe that for me, fatherhood is being present. It's being in the family. It's being positive. I mean, there's, as you know, and your brother know, there are certain words that we don't use in our home, such as stupid and different things like that, because we understand that there's no stupidity in our family. So there are certain words that are not allowed in the family. So I believe that to be a good father, I believe you just have to be present. I believe you have to be positive, and you have to be active in that person's life. I believe those are the main things.
I love that. I love that answer. It took me back to a quote, paraphrasing this, but it was during, I believe Obama's, it was the 2004 when he was running, and the quote basically went something like, especially for our youth, we must eradicate the narrative that, for example, a black youth with a book is acting white, right, essentially. And the reason why that stuck with me is because it's about eradicating that negative narrative of who we are, who we should be,
right,
in all cultures and in everybody. So I really appreciate when I understood about how, like, you banned those negative words in our household environment, because it really taught me that it is about mentality, and we must always uplift those around us and uplift ourselves too. And by using those negative terminologies, it only damages our mindset. So yes, I do take away with that.
One of the things that's so important to me is in our golf program, we have a golf program, High Tee Golf. They teach us a lot. And so one of the things that Mr. Reeves, Bo Reeves, who runs that program, said, he wanted to replace the 9mm with a 9-iron. So he wanted to take the gun out of these young people's hands and put a golf club in there. And I say one of the things that I would like to do is, I don't want to go downtown and put money on books, but I would like to buy books and read books to our youth and to our young men. So those are some of the things that we do too. So I am so happy, Lincoln, that you've listened to what I've said and understand what I'm saying and all of that. And that's one of the things that make you such a great son. And that's why we can stand here today as father and son and represent our organization, because we believe in what we do. And we believe that we're making a change, and believe that that change is going to be going on. Once we're gone, we believe that change is still going to be taking place.
Definitely. And I believe that there is a huge need, especially in the community. I know recently in our own community, there's been a lot of uprising and violence. And we've seen, especially someone like you who has been involved within the community and works right in the heart of it in safe ways. We've seen constant thefts, constant different violences that you must encounter, right? And I believe that it's such a need, especially as the son. It's been very damaging to see and hear gunshots and to hear different sorts of violence that's happening in the community. I know that whenever something happens, and for example, I'm not there or I'm traveling, I get very worried for you, and it gets very scared. And I know that many other families have to face this on a regular basis as well. So I think that it's really important that we help to strengthen that family household, and that we also encourage our youth that violence, and for example gang violence, is not the pathway, and then showing our youth that there's so many different outlets and so many different people that will help you in your goals that you wish to accomplish. That's not the way. So I believe that's there's a necessary need, and that we must act on it now.
One of the things that I was thinking about as you was talking, each one of our programs that we have, FAS has about 10 to 11 programs each year that we perform, that we put on. And one of the things that we do, we have a topic for each and every program that we do. And all during the 2024 year, every program we address, we have something to say about gun violence, because gun violence is so prevalent in our nation today. And as a father and as a son, like you said, that it is just so important that we set the example for other young men in our communities. Right. And I think that gun violence is out of control, but I think what we're doing, I think we're making a difference. Mm-hmm. I think we're letting people know that there is a better way, that there's another way that we can go. And I think those are the things that strengthen communities. Those are the things that make us strong, and that's where leadership comes in. And so that's what FAST is all about. We want to develop young leaders who can go out there and make a difference in our society. And I think, Lincoln, you are one of the young leaders that have something to say. And it used to be a time when you had a right to make a change in this country, but now I say you have a responsibility. And I think you're accepting your responsibility well.
Thank you. And the other thing that I've seen from you, especially regarding fatherhood, is I appreciate how involved that you are, because I know that you do so many different things for the community, and you're recognized in all of those, and you're involved, right? Working and also representing fathers and sons together, and so much more community engagement. But I believe that's from a fatherhood perspective that you're extremely engaged and very active in my life, as you said, present, positive, and active. Whether it's my athletics, when I'm playing basketball games or football games, I see you in the stands all the time. When I was in Boy Scouts and received my Eagle Scout award, you were there for the graduation, for the ceremony. You were there for my rite of passage, and you were very extremely present throughout my whole life, and I appreciate that. And I believe that that's also the work that FAST does as well, constantly holding events for our fathers and sons to go to, also our daughters, as we have the dads and daughters as well, and that's something that I appreciate from you as well.
And I would like to just say that when FAST started, before we organized in 2012, I think it was, and Mr. Marvin Charles, who I want to just throw a special shout out to, I met with Marvin on several occasions and talked to him about what I wanted to do about this program that we wanted to have, and he met with me, he gave me advice, and so the DADS program plays a big part in FAST also. So I'm thankful to Marvin Charles and the FAST and the DAD family for what they have contributed to FAST. And I again, like I said, this shout out is for Marvin and for what he does, the work that he does in the community. And FAST and DADS are partners. I mean, we really are partners in this, and we're here to, again, make a difference. And I think that we are making that difference, and I think it's very important that we just continue the work. I mean, the work is never going to end, but again, like I said, with my young son coming up, 18, he runs the youth part of this, and my oldest son, Lawrence, who is a board member, and these guys are keeping the ball rolling. They're keeping it going, and I think that's real important. And so, again, Lincoln, thank you for continuing the work, and I know that the work will continue. You will continue to inspire and let other people know that there's so much work to be done out here, and you're doing it. So, any closing remarks you'd want to say?
Yeah, I want to acknowledge that, and encourage that we need more youth to step up. So if within Fathers and Sons Together, we're always looking for more youth to help us on this journey, and we are amazing youth as well. I know that something that I do, especially along We Are Amazing, is I also do poetry. So I've done poems such as Being Black in America and my experience on that. I've also done poetry about Never Forget the Truth in light of the education problem that I see in America and the constant shift in the narrative. And so I believe that, again, our youth can change the world. And especially that it's important that we follow the footsteps that you have paved for us, and never forgetting the truth and acknowledging that we've only just begun in our journey. And I believe that goes back down to fatherhood. And from my perspective, it's been looking up to you and following your footsteps in order to continue and create more for my own. So the work is extremely important and it's necessary. I want to encourage all youth out there and all families that are also along this journey that we are amazing, that we are strong, creative geniuses, inventors, forgiving, and kind, full of an undeniable resilience, strength, and wisdom, because that's who we truly are.
All right. And so I just think that, as FAST, Fathers and Sons Together, we are on a mission. We're on a mission to succeed. And I just think that those are the things that we need to do. We need to be constantly going forward. And I remember two things that I would like to say that I tell Lincoln and Lawrence all the time. One of which is Cam Newton, who used to was a football player, great football player. And one of the things that Cam Newton was reminding people of, the 5 Ps that his dad would always tell him, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And that's one of the things that we want to do is we want to prepare our youth, we want to prepare our dads so that they will be in a position to have not poor performance, but proper performance, and to be able to do good. So again, like I said, I'm proud of my son. He's academically, he's very, very strong. Athletically, he's very, very strong. Both of my sons are. And it's just an example of what happens when you are present, positive, and accountable, active in your son's life. Those are the things that we try to teach other fathers. We're not beating anything into them. We're just letting them know that those are the things that are important. Those are the things that we feel are important. And those are the things that need to happen in order for our community to keep being strong. And so...
I love that. Yes. Yes, I believe that I hope to continue following your footsteps, and there's no telling what the future beholds, but I look forward to continuing the journey with you and with those along fathers and sons together, and with our We Are Amazing 365 youth. And again, this is such a pressing time, especially as we've seen countless issues in this nation, and I believe that, yes, it trickles down to the work that we are doing and every other nonprofit organization in this community, and we are amazing.
All right.
Yep.